that does not apply to us at this time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. Which way do y'all prefer it? It's July 1st. It's probably 7:30 in the morning, so it's time for a yard and garden update. Let's see, is Butchie Boy back here somewhere? Where is he? Hey, there he is. See him? There's Butchie. Say good morning to Butchie Boy. All right. So, it's just an update on the yard. Just as much for me as for you, so I can see what's going on. It's hard for me to remember 30 or 60 days from now what it was I was doing now. And I don't really keep notes, and I don't tag anything or label anything, so here we go. All right, so we got the privet hedge, and obviously it needs to be cleaned again. Bunch of trash. I live next to the Kroger. So not much to say about that, except everything is still growing good, even during the drought. And the drought is officially over. All right, so the privet hedge looks good. Check out the green giants. Now, it's not like there needs to be an update on these. I've had these a long time. What's cool about these is, okay, there's a rose of Sharon that's flowering over here. All right, so that's a pretty good one. So I do have some flowers. Certainly I did not plant this. This has shown up, but look how many flower buds there are. So this thing is about to start popping, it would appear. All right, so that's a rose of Sharon, a type of hibiscus. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I am new to all this, so I could be wrong about a lot of it. As a matter of fact, okay, I know that's a green giant, but let's see if this one's laughable. Okay, see that right there? That was not there during the last garden tour. I discovered that in the backyard, and I thought that I had identified that as wild fennel. When the fact is, I believe it's what's called horseweed. So I started to transplant it up here because I thought it was fennel. So this little area is not bad. If you're new to the channel, you don't realize this part didn't exist before. My fence, before I changed it the last time, went from there over to there. This entire part of my yard was just like a no man's land, so I decided to move the fence from over there all the way over there a long time ago. See what I'm saying there? I did that a very long time ago, so that I might use this part of the yard. So I built the entire fence. Okay, another thing, not to make the video too long, it's going to be kind of long. See the black stuff that I use? That is that weed barrier that everybody loves to put down. I'm telling you, the only reason you need to be using that right there underneath on the ground flat is if you're some kind of professional grower. You do not need to buy that and be using that out here in a yard like this. No. See the wood chips? See all the wood chips over there? Have you seen any of my wood chip videos? Okay, see these wood chips? That's what those are for. The best way to use this, the best way to use that weed barrier is to use it as fence backer, because that fence backer stuff costs like 5 times more than that. But it's a warning. Don't be using that weed barrier as weed barrier. I'll show you another part of the yard. Now, of course, I pick the weeds every day. That's what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you, people, pick the weeds. Pick them, pick them, pick them, pick them, pick them. Pick them. Pick the weeds like flowers, all right? Say hello to Butchie. the best part of the tour. Look how sweet and patient he is. He's the sweetest boy. He's actually one of the most patient little doggies I've ever seen. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetheart. I love you so much. He's the sweetest boy. Say, I came from Lifeline. Okay, Daddy, will you put a card up on the top right of the screen for Lifeline? Yep, there it is. All right. Okay, I'm telling you, let me tell you something. There is a huge percentage of people that do not have dogs that should have. That's the end of that. The end of that preaching. There's someone enjoying the privet hedge. All right, so what do we got? Okay, we've probably talked about this. This is the deer-eaten pink flowering dogwood. So the deer came along and ate all the foliage. It did look like that. But since that time, check it out. Can we see that? I was a little bit concerned, but not totally. And okay. So I've got new buds forming there. Once again, it's July 1st. The privets are 3 weeks in the extreme high 90s with no rain. They've gotten a little bit of a yellow look, the privets, but I think they'll be okay. All right, the corn looks good. Now here's what's funny, the lettuce. I think that I'm about to just harvest this lettuce. What's funny is after you do something one time, you understand it a lot better and it makes it a lot easier. So I do have some lettuce, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that and I'm gonna eat me a salad, and then I'm gonna do something different in this area here. Okay, I got me a cantaloupe over here. Now I've got cantaloupes all over the yard. I don't know, for some reason I'm experimenting with cantaloupes. So, okay. And then we've got zinnias here. Now check this one out. It was windy. We got a little wind yesterday, and this one's buckled over a little. We don't want something to happen to those before they start to flower, which is not going to be very long from now. So zinnias. Okay, here we've got the morning glories. And I've got them trained up on something that I'm hoping you can't really see from the street, but I think it's actually a box spring. Okay, one fear I have, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a fear, it's something that I do not want to do. Okay, yes, I want to be a gardener. Yes, I want to grow my own vegetables and all that stuff. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to junk my property up with a bunch of netting and a bunch of stuff that looks like junk. I'm telling you, the best gardens that you see, they look like kind of junky and almost like you would just come in, a person that didn't know anybody would just clear the whole thing. They're like, man, it's totally junk. Well, I commend gardeners who are working that hard, but I don't want my yard to look that way. I don't like that. I want this yard to look like, to look crisp and clean. I want it to be crispy. Crispy. Okay, back to the program. Back to the Butchie show. All right, kind of like this area. Doesn't that area have a crispy look? And what's nice about this area is this area I can plant flowers. Now, okay, I'll tell you something. Something that's interesting for me. Vegetables are a lot easier to grow than flowers. I don't know why. I'm having much more success with vegetables than flowers. Not that I don't have flowers, but there's a tomato. That thing is flowering. Speaking of flowers, okay, and what I'm going to show you, this is what's funny. That's a cherry tomato, and it's over 180 days old. And I was growing it in a place with too little sun, so I had to wake up and then transplant it, move it out here, then it started to flower. That's supposed to take 70 days. So that's kind of funny. All right, the corn. We got something happening up here. But, however, I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything. See those? They're about to start falling off, but aren't they supposed to fall onto something down there? I don't see anything down there. Okay, but they're all doing it. I don't believe that's the tassel. I believe the tassel is on the tip of the corn. I'm going to tell you guys something about corn tassel. Something about my genealogy that nobody will believe, but I'm related to a person named Corntassel. And anyone in the Cherokee Nation who knows who Corntassel is, not only was there the Corntassel I'm talking about, there's the Corntassel of today. The president of the Cherokee Nation is named Corntassel. Yet another, I'll do a video on Chief Corntassel, and I'll put it up right there. Look it up. Look up Chief Corntassel. Chief Corntassel got murdered. The chief, did I say president? It's the same thing. The chief of the Cherokee Nation, he got murdered under a flag of peace. All right, I'll stop the genealogy. I'm going to start a new playlist with some genealogy postings. All right, so back to the crispy clean look and the fact that this is a great area right here to grow not only vegetables but flowers. All right, so got some mint, more mint. I haven't come through and picked any of this mint lately. All right, and then I have yet more mint up here with some zinnias that are, well, they're coming along okay. They certainly don't look like the ones over there. No, okay, I've got one more zinnia that looks as good as those, but that is obviously a good spot for zinnias. All right, now here's something that seems to be a little tricky to grow. These are wax beans, butter beans. All right. So two of them, I planted 4 of them. 2 of them are looking really good, and then 2 of them are kind of stunty looking. Here we got a cucumber. Now this I haven't figured out its final resting place, but boy, look how nice that one's looking. It wants to cling on to something, and I don't want it to cling on to my marigolds and my calla lilies up here. So those are looking good. This little thing worked out pretty good because as the calla lilies are dying back, the flower part, the marigolds are coming along, and the colors like totally match. That's a total accident. Once again, the mint and zinnias. All right, over here I got stuff. I mean, I need to get busy with this. It's the parsley. I made a video about parsley. Eating parsley but thinking it was cilantro. It's ridiculous. These 2 things got battered. It didn't rain for over 3 weeks, and then boy, the other day it rained and the raindrops were about the size of that planter, and my stuff got battered. So I guess the reason this lettuce hasn't come along is because there's 2 of them. That one's looking pretty good. So those 2 pieces of lettuce look all right, I guess. Watermelon, some basil here, a puny little lavender cutting. I had more there and that got battered. I mowed out here yesterday. That's my chipping area, so I chip golf balls. I don't know if I've discussed that. We'll get to it. All right, so here we've got another piece of the, now this is interesting. I like this as far as gardening design. Okay, we got another piece of the what I thought was the wild fennel, but now think is a weed. But you see what I was trying to do there is I'm trying to get a structure, a tall structure, so that when you're in the house here, okay, if we come around here, all right, so if you're at this table in the kitchen, you know, I'm trying to pull you out the door there. So eventually, instead of that weed, okay, I'll have some kind of statue or something. Sorry. All right, so the objective there of the tall planting is to pull me out. The reason that's cool is all I did was take a weed out of the backyard in order to give me the height, so I can design things by using plants that are undesirable, and then I can go back later and replace them with the plants or the structures that I want. You see what I'm saying? It's an interesting way to design. that way you don't have to keep from doing stuff. Okay. All right, so let's go around it here real quick. Now this is cool because on the last update I had a plant that was unidentified, but now I know it to be a red daylily right here. Okay, so I had divided that into fourths. There's another one. Where'd it go? See, they're not doing good out here in the heat. There it is. Now actually that one's looking good, so I've been working on that one. But I pulled another one up and potted it up in my free potting soil, which I make in the backyard. And check that out. So that's a red daylily. So I'm going to be able to have an endless supply of red daylilies from a plant that I pulled out of the garbage in a rental house. I don't know what that is. Okay, that is some kind of perennial wildflower. The reason that I've got these going is because I decided that it was cheaper to buy a $2 pack of perennial wildflower seeds and just plant each individual seed, then wait for it to come up, figure out what it is, and you could fill your entire yard with one packet of seeds, instead of doing what everybody does, which is take the packet of seeds and go sprinkling them out. So get yourself a pack of perennial wildflowers and then grow them along like this, figure out what they are, then propagate them, and then move along. Okay, there's a lavender that's not looking too good. Man, okay, take my sunglasses off. Am I seeing that right? Does that look brownish? Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, how's this one looking? Here's another one. That one's not quite as puny, and I think I can see some purple developing there. So that one probably just needs to go out in the ground. All right, so here we got some, what I was thinking was Greg's mistflower, but it's actually blue mistflower. That's here, some there, some over there, and some over there. All that I transplanted from the backyard. Okay, here, out of 2 packs of zinnias, this is what I call a flower failure. Out of 2 packs of zinnias, which must be at least 40 seeds or more, I've only got these 2. What's cool is, we can now see that one is going to be like a purple zinnia. So that's pretty cool. That has taken what I consider forever. Okay, so here we got a cantaloupe that I'm just letting grow along the ground, and I'm going to let it trellis if it wants to. That's the experiment here. The experiment is trellis if you want to. So we're going to find out. That one I trellised. I actually grew it along and then I wrapped it into the fence. So that one I trellised intentionally. That one is trellis if you want to. I've never heard of that as a gardening technique, but that's what we're calling it, trellis if you want to. And what that means as a gardening technique is you plant the plant near a vertical fence, but you still give it an area space to grow on the ground, and you just see what it wants to do. Okay, red daylily, blue mistflower. Okay, these zinnias are looking good. Those are all zinnias there. I'm practicing with the zinnias, people, and these are zinnias, and they're looking good. The feeling that I'm getting here is that this is going to be pretty cool because the zinnias are going to flower and the blue mistflower is going to flower. So, and I got a watermelon here. So, see, this is if you plant these vines near the fence, you can later decide to trellis them if you want to. So, and you can literally. You can grow a watermelon up this fence without putting any of that wire on it. You can just use string, so, but that's a watermelon, and that's a watermelon. So, and they've got plenty of space out here. If they need to grow down through here, I don't care, because obviously I got no plantings here. So, and I'm not going to right now because it's, it's it's not the middle of the summer, it's the beginning, and it's so hot, it's incredible. Cantaloupe, Now that's the another morning glory. Looks a little yellowish to me, but it's in a pot, and I don't like using the synthetic plant food, although I will use it. So okay, this is something you don't want to see. These are more your cherry tomatoes at over day 180. These are never going to flower. See where the sun is? So when I planted them there, they were getting full sun because the sun was more over here. Now it's rising a little bit more over there, which is blocking the sun from the house, from the tomatoes. So I'm going to try to transplant these over to the other side of the house and see what happens. All right, the rosemary is slow. Does it look like it's doing anything in there? The only reason I've got a cage around that rosemary is because I was going to try to grow these morning glories on this cage. They don't seem extremely happy back here. So here's the green giants. Now if you watch the last update, then you'll see just how slow these things are. These things take forever. All right, here we got the cyclamen. Oh, nice. There's the cyclamen that was dead that my mother brought over because I gave it to her last year, and boy, that thing wasn't looking good. Look at it now. Man, that's awesome. Those cyclamen are awesome because I think that thing's been flowering for months. It's the only thing I've got that is just keeps coming on. It just keeps on coming. All right, over here we got cucumbers. Same kind of deal. Trellis if you want to. I think you're supposed to trellis cucumbers. Okay, also another rule, if you want to trellis a plant, you have to plant it on the fence line. Pardon me. If you want to trellis a plant, you have to plant it on the fence line, not 8 inches or 10 inches or 12 inches away. So if you're going to trellis, you got to plant it right there. Even that's too far. So if I were going to plant another cucumber, I'd plant it right here. If I were going to trellis it on the fence, I'd plant it right there on the fence line. So that was a mistake I made here. It was too far. Okay, now this one's interesting. All right. Now that one, I grew on that one. Okay, originally this one was out here. Then I noticed it was getting eaten alive, so I potted it up, and then it grew along on the porch for a while. Then I put it back out here, and it's doing fine. So, all right, more of the weed, the horse weed. Isn't that funny? Okay, the reason I want something tall here is because when I'm in the house, I can look down and see in the neighbor's window. So I need a blocker. All right, I'm getting sick of my own yard tour, so let's get done. All right, so here's the backyard. And as I said, I did mow back there, and I hit golf balls to that area. So we'll get into I don't think I've discussed the fact that I'm going to turn all this into my own little private golf course, in addition to a garden and all kinds of stuff. You can have it all. You can have it all, ladies and gentlemen. You can have it all. The garden tour should tell you that, because look, here we've got some more cantaloupes. So it would appear that cantaloupe's doing better than any of the other ones. So there's 3 cantaloupes, you can see them there, and only 1 watermelon survived over here, but there it is. Okay, so the original idea over here was to grow these items so that they would grade that way and go down the hill. And it looks like the cantaloupe is cooperating, but the watermelon is growing towards the sun that way. So I've got a pit here that used to be a storm shelter. And I've filled it in over the years with the wood chips, the leaves, and all that stuff. And now I've gotten myself a little walled garden where I can plant potatoes, carrots, turnips, stuff like that. Stuff that wants to grow down because it's real deep. And it's cool. It's like a little walled garden. So that's how I'm going to treat it. All right, man, look at that thing. Boy, there's something about that thing. Yes, the Paullinia tomentosa. Let's see if I get it right. I think I tried that on one of the other videos. Let's see if I get it right. All right, Paullinia tomentosa. All right. Probably just one more stop and we're done. It's JohnMastersDoesitALL, the banana plant. All right, well, that thing has survived 3 weeks of no rain and scorching temperatures, and now that we're back to some kind of humidity and some kind of rain, check that out. That's popped up in the last couple of days. So at 98 degrees for 3 weeks with no rain, that thing kind of just stopped growing, seems like, as did everything else. But as I said, as I said before, ladies and gentlemen, the drought is over, and it looks like we're back to normal summer type weather. Although the humidity is high, I guess that's normal. It's hard for me to tell what I like better, when it's 100 degrees and 30% humidity, or when it is 90 degrees and 90% humidity. It's a tough choice. It's a good thing I don't have to choose. I get what I get, just like y'all. Thumbs up. Thanks for joining me on this 28-minute garden tour. You know what? It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. There's no possibility that one person on YouTube sat through the whole thing. If you did, then shout out to you. As a matter of fact, if you did and you tell me in the comments that you did, then I will shout out to you. Peace out.